22 MPPs. We do not need 44 councillors. We can run a tight ship, we can run an effective city with 22 all-star councillors. That will save the environment a tremendous amount. It's less 22 reports of paper, 22 less binders, 22 less offices to clean. On the surface, it will save approximately $20 million, but it could save up to $100 million. Save the Dawn. Save the Dawn came to me, cleaning up the Humber River. As you know, in Etobicoke, no one would ever think we have salmon coming up the Humber River. For the last 10 years, from 2000 to 2010, we have salmon now swimming up the Humber River.
Did you know that you even can go online and see hour by hour how much energy we consume and how much green electricity exhibition place generates? This election is really about clear choices. Do we believe in a Toronto and want to continue together as city builders? Or do we, as my opponents believe, want to watch the pennies and start to tear down the structures which is making Toronto an amazing city? That is the choice. Because of the challenge of climate change, now more than ever, we need to put all of the city's resources to work so we can build a green future. Already the city, you'll be interested to know, as has been mentioned earlier, has cut greenhouse gas emissions from our own operation by an astonishing 40%. It shows that we have the political will, we can and will do it.
We had our own garden, we canned our own tomato sauce, and I still use my mother's tomato sauce on a regular basis until it runs out. There's no question that there are many great initiatives to green the city out there, and I salute Mayor Miller and Deputy Mayor Pantaloni for their leadership on this front. $425 million a year, every year, is the equivalent of 2 subway stops. So that regardless of what the province does, we would put ourselves into a position to build what this city needs, and that is more public transit. Over the next 10 years, 1 million people will come to the city of Toronto. That is either one of the greatest opportunities for economic growth and development of this city, or it's a recipe for disaster. With expanded public transit, it will be a city worthy of our dreams and sacrifices. Leadership is about choices, about making tough choices. I'm prepared to provide that leadership. If you want expanded public transit, then I'd ask for your support on October 25th and vote Rocco Rossi for mayor. Thank you.
Shout out to a bunch of my volunteers who are here in their purple shirts, because today we're participating in 32 distinct cleanups across the city of Toronto. 400 volunteers mobilized to work with other groups, so thank you for all of your hard work. It's really great to be at the Green Living Show and to be able to witness the people of the city of Toronto and beyond coming here in search of the kind of solutions that can allow them to live in a more sustainable way. This is obviously a mission that we are on individually, and it's a mission that we must join together to promote as community. I am in favor of sustainability, and the policies which I've been part of as a provincial government, and especially the policies which I am in this campaign going to advance, and which, if I am lucky enough to enjoy your support, I will advance as mayor. It's electricity in from outreaching environments, from big coal-fired generating stations and nuclear power plants, shipped by wires that divide communities. Instead, we have the opportunity now to emerge as more of a solar city, and with some wind as well, to enhance the amount of green energy that we're depending upon. These forms of renewable energy are not only about a cleaner environment, but they are about an economic opportunity for the people of Toronto. And that's why I believe so fervently that we must hold on to the ownership of Toronto Hydro.
Is really by creating the atmosphere and the people can prosper. For example, I laid the green roofs bylaw. It was my proposal that I got from council. And guess what now? We're building capacity now, because people want to be part of green, to build green roofs. 20% of the city is roof area, and now we're at a capacity which is creating jobs. which then people can export to other cities and so forth. Toronto also has to make sure that our taxation is kept within limits. We lost a lot of jobs, green and otherwise, in the 905, because historically, before, way before, we allowed taxation to be higher. So
when Mr. Rossi says asset monetization, you gotta hear 407 style sell-off. And I think that the people have spoken about the protection of assets which they own. The reality is that Toronto Hydro is a monopoly in the provision of an essential service. And I think for those reasons alone, it bears protection. I also think that with Toronto Hydro, we have a platform which allows us to expand the integration of renewable energy, which is about creating economic opportunity and jobs.
There's jobs, real concrete jobs. I've created over 5,000 jobs in getting the Cordish Group to open up Woodbine Live. It's $1 billion investment that is invested in this city.
Like the land transfer tax and through regularized tax increases, the amount of resources available to the City of Toronto has improved. The City of Toronto has a culture which says we have a revenue problem.
Mentions the fact that it's going to go line by line, on the budget. The question to ask is he going to be applying the same degree of efficiency and excellence as he did when I'm assuming he went line by line on the e-health budget that he started himself, which cost the taxpayers $1 billion, never mind pennies, for which we got zero to show for it. Is that the quesadilla of controlling spending in City Hall? No. Frankly, we got to go knocking on McGuinty's door, because municipalities only get 5.6% of all the taxes paid in Ontario, provincial and federal get 94.4%. There's a disconnect there. So for streetcars or anything of importance, they have to pay their share, because you're paying those taxes to the provincial government and the federal government. They cannot say it's not their business. We pay, $250 million plus for transit subsidy, which they used to pay for. We all get it ripped off. We got to knock off on McGuinty's door to get it right.
Board in place that can actually give us direction and give the province confidence that they're dealing with a real partner. And let's be sure that we get beyond this sort of feast or famine